Chapter 10. Writing the Research Proposal. Most research projects start with a proposal. You probably have to write one before you start your thesis or dissertation. A research proposal are designed to persuade someone that your project is worthwhile. Research proposal aims to reflect relevance, context, approach, and feasibility of your project. The format of a research proposal varies between fields, but most proposals should contain at least these elements: the title page, introduction, literature review, research design, reference list, and sections. The title page of the proposal should include the proposed title of your project, your name, your supervisor's name, the institution, and the department. You should include also check with your department to see if there are specific requirements. The next is introduction, is where you hook the reader and demonstrate relevance. Here, you should introduce the context of your research problem and show that your project is interesting, original, and important. Here are some questions to guide your introductions. How much is already known about the problem? For whom is this interesting? For examples, policymakers or scientists. What are the key research questions that you aim to answer? The next is literature review. A strong literature review convinces the reader that your project has a solid foundation in existing knowledge or theory. It also shows that you're familiar with the field. In this section, you're explaining how your project will contribute to conversations on your topic. The next is research design. The research design or methodology section should describe the overall approach and practical steps you will take to answer your research questions. Here are things you should describe in the research design section. Research type, if it is qualitative or quantitative, or primary or secondary. Sources, who or what will you actually study? Research methods, what tools and procedure will you use? Practicalities, any foreseeable obstacles in terms of time scale or resources required? Let's proceed to implications. To finish the proposal on a strong note, you can explore the potential implications of the research for theory or practice and emphasize again what you may aim to contribute to existing knowledge on the topic. For example, your result might have implication for confirming or developing a theory, challenging current assumptions, and creating a basis for further research. The next is reference list and reference schedule. The reference list, of course, your research proposal must include proper citations and a reference list for every sources you've used. It is important to keep track of your sources right from the beginning. Reference schedule, depending on the requirements of your program, you might have to include a detailed timeline and budget of the problem. This aim to show that the researcher is feasible. Within the timeline, you'll explain what you will do at each stage, how long it will take, and how much it will cost. The most common reasons for rejection include: first, lack of new original ideas; second, diffuse, superficial, or unfocused research plan; third, lack of knowledge of published relevant work; fourth, lack of experience in the essential methodology; and lastly, uncertainty concerning the future directions of the research. There are many other characteristics that may weaken a proposal. Some as minor as the font size. It is important that applicants adhere to the funding agency descriptions and guidelines for formatting specifications such as font size, spacing, page limits, and so on. To sum up, in writing a research proposal, the proposal is an essential to successful research as the outline is to good writing. It represents what should be the careful planning that precedes as well conceived research study. The proposal should spell out to a reasonable degree that details of a proposed research project and serve as a guide to which the researcher may refer as he or she carries out the study. In terms of format, most research proposals are essentially the same. The elements generally included are the title page, introduction, literature review, research design, and reference list. A timetable, which can be quite useful in keeping the research project on schedule, may be appended or may be integrated throughout the text of the proposal. There is a variety of characteristics that can increase the attractiveness of a proposal. Most of these attributes simply result from the proposal being well written and from the author using an appropriate, effective format. Perhaps most important, the proposal should be clear, straightforward, and succinct.